Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. This is Kay back at it with a new video. The title of this video is You Should Always Inspect Your Rental Property. Let's get started. We buy properties, some people buy rental properties and they think, well, it's just like a get rich quick scheme. I'm going to buy this property and then I'm going to put it on autopilot and I'm going to just, go about my life. Well, I got news for you. Doesn't work like that. Rental properties require a lot of attention, a lot of hard work, uh, being aware of what's going on with your property because there's always something going on. It's a living, breathing thing, and it requires your undivided attention. And I'll tell you why. When you own a rental property, tenants know when you're coming around, and they know when you don't come around. Tenants know your routine just like you should know their routine, right? So times are getting tough. And by that I mean that, rents are just going through the ceiling. People can't afford to pay these high rents. So now people are cohabitating. Now you're going to have multi-generational houses. Friends can't afford their own place, so they might crash with another friend, or a family member might try to move in because, either they lost their place or they just can't afford it. Now, what happens is if you're not coming around your rental property, guess what? Guess where they moving? To your place. If you came around regularly, then tenants would be hesitant to do that because they know you're going to see it, right? But you won't see it if you're on the other side of town somewhere and you're not coming around to see what's going on at your rental property. So you want to buy something that's no more than 5 miles away. So then this way you can comfortably go around, because if you got a rental property and it's on the other side of town, you're not going to want to be going on the other side of town in case a pipe bursts or a heavy snowstorm or emergency in general, or just to do a repair. It's going to become a chore that you're not going to want to do. And if you got to cut the grass on the other side of town, good luck with that. And what some tenants will tell you is just let them cut the grass, and then, you give them a break on their rent. Well, and everybody wins, right? Yeah, but tenants don't cut the grass like the owner or landscapers in most instances. I had this one neighbor, she did that with a tenant, and the grass was like up to here because she did it maybe once or twice, and then it wasn't regularly. So you want to be consistent with that. And the only way you can be consistent with it, you got to have a professional do it, or you do it yourself. So that's one of the things. And then, you don't want a lot of people hanging out in front of your house. So, if you drive by, you'll see that. I had this thing, I'll go by my property every day. It was on my way to work, on my way from work. So, I would let people see me pull up in the front, drive around the back of the property. Not only was I inspecting the front, I was inspecting the back too. Making sure it wasn't a lot of garbage behind the property. You didn't have cars parked back there. Gates weren't left open. So these are all the things that you want to check for. You want to make sure that your tenants aren't leaving entry doors open and propped and this and that. So going around your property will, let you see what's going on. And if you don't do it, then, everything goes on because people know when you're not coming around. So that's just the outside. But what about the inside? Well, that inside, you want to inspect that at least twice a year. starting out, if it's with a new tenant, you want to inspect it at least twice a year, every 6 months. You just want to do a walkthrough. And if you exterminate yourself, then you can inspect it as you exterminate. Or if you have an extermination company, you can accompany the exterminator and inspect your place. Or just flat out say, hey, I'm gonna inspect the property in 30 days. Please, make everything right for me, so when I come through, I can look at the basement, the first floor, and if it's got a second floor, I can look at that too. And don't be shy about inspecting your property, because it is your property. You put a lot of money, time, effort, and everything else to get it. And, you don't want it to fall apart because, you're not inspecting it. I was looking at this one video about this guy. He was talking to a news guy that was reporting on his property that the place was a wreck. He had let this young girl move in, and he had pictures of how it looked when she moved in to how it looked now. Well, you see a lot of debris on the outside of the house. You see that the inside was a wreck. Everything was just a mess. Now, had he been going around his property, he would have caught that. He would have caught the tall grass. He would have caught the debris on the outside. And if he was doing the inspection once or twice a year, he would have caught the inside too. So is it her fault or is it his fault? I want to say it's his fault, because if he was doing what he was supposed to do, which is inspect his property on a regular and inspect the inside, well, he could have caught all of that before it got out of hand. See? You have to inspect your property. I had this one building that the tenants wanted to spray themselves, and I said, well, hey, okay, this can help me out. Guess what? The roaches was all over the place. It got so out of control that the only way I was able to get rid of them roaches, I had to get rid of those tenants. It was so bad. So the lesson in that was always hire a exterminator to spray your place. This way, you're assured that it's done correctly, and it's done monthly. So these are some of the things that you need to do if you want to be a landlord that's on top of his rental property, because, just, buying a property and then living on the other side of town and letting it run on autopilot isn't the way to do it, because your place will go down eventually over time. A rental property requires a lot of attention. And if you don't have the attention, that's probably not the investment for you, because you need to be around your property on a regular. You want to make sure people are not hanging out. You want to make sure people are not using drugs in your property. You want to make sure that tenants are being good tenants and good stewards over your property. You want to make sure you don't have garbage and all kind of stuff around your property. You want to make sure that they didn't slip a dog in on you and this and that. So these are all the things that you want to look for. And when you inspect your property, you want to make sure everything is running properly. You want to make sure the electric is good and the plumbing is good, and you don't have any peeling paint or things that may have came down and you didn't know about, because sometimes tenants won't even mention to you that you got a broken entry gate or a pipe that's hanging until it really affects them. So it gives you the opportunity to catch all these things before they become a bigger problem. So that's all I have for you. Always inspect your rental property if you don't do anything else, and buy it where it's close to you, so it's not a burden on you when you have to go by and inspect it. So that's all I have for you. Again, this is Kay, back at it with a new video. Press like if you like my video. See you in the next one. Take care, guys.